Hey there, beautiful souls and steadfast Taurians. Welcome back to the Inner Secret, where we dive deep into the very mysteries of the cosmos and how they intimately weave lives, especially yours. I'm your guide, and today we find ourselves on the very precipice of something truly extraordinary. If you're tuning in now, I have a feeling you are sensing it. That subtle shift in the very atmosphere, that quiet hum of change that is resonating deep within your being. We're talking about controlling your emotions, and no, this is not just another concept to grasp. It's a powerful cosmic portal. A turning point, my dear friends, a moment where the energies of the universe are aligning. Specifically for you, dear Taurus, can you feel it? This isn't about small tweaks or minor adjustments. No, this is about a potential redefinition of your very emotional landscape, of your inner world. I know it sounds big, right? It's because it is big. The wisdom of Buddhism is converging with the cosmic energies, creating a unique tapestry of power designed to unlock incredible potential for you. Now, have you been feeling a sense of being stuck? Maybe like you are caught in those old patterns, repeating the same cycles without any real significant progress. Or perhaps you have been searching for that crystal clear clarity, that sense of direction that feels so deeply true to you. Well, my dear Taurus, your waiting is over. This is the moment you have been preparing for. The Buddha, a beacon of light on the path to enlightenment, once said, "You will not be punished for your anger, you will be punished by your anger." These powerful words illuminate a fundamental truth. Our emotions, when left unchecked, can become our own tormentors. They can lead to reactions that cause us pain and suffering and can disrupt our inner peace and harmony. But the wonderful news is, this does not have to be your story. Today we are not just going to explore how to manage, but how to master those often turbulent tides within us. And trust me, this is a journey worth taking, because the destination is a life lived in true emotional freedom. And for you, my dear Taurus, this is especially important because your stability and strength are not meant to be a burden, but rather a foundation for an even greater expansion. So let us now embark on this incredible exploration. I've distilled 7 powerful lessons to help you understand, not suppress your emotions, and unlock the secret to genuine inner peace. These lessons, my dear friend, will not only change the way you experience life, but will allow you to become the master of your own internal universe. And for you, Taurus, that is the goal. To become the master of your internal universe, to use your strength to create beauty and harmony. 1. Unveiling the space between stimulus and response. Have you ever found yourself reacting to a situation almost instantly without even pausing to think? It's like a knee-jerk response, isn't it? Almost like a chain reaction. Well, the first and most profound lesson on controlling our emotions is that between a stimulus and our response, there is a space. This is not just a moment, but a powerful place of potential. Consider it for a moment. Something triggers an emotional reaction. Maybe someone says something hurtful, or something goes wrong in your day. Now, many of us, conditioned by habit or past experiences, jump immediately into a reaction. That's when the emotional waves can overwhelm you, leading to impulsive behavior or harsh words. And for you, dear Taurus, with your natural inclination towards stability and consistency, those sudden waves can feel even more unsettling. But within that space between the stimulus and your reaction, there is an incredible power that resides. This space is where we have the opportunity to choose how we are going to respond. It's the place where we can insert our conscious awareness into the equation, rather than allowing our emotions to dictate our actions. In Buddhism, mindfulness helps us expand this precious space, allowing us to cultivate thoughtful and intentional responses. By simply pausing and taking a deep breath, we give ourselves a chance to observe the situation, to consider the implications, and to choose an answer that reflects our truest intentions. This is especially beneficial for you, dear Taurus, because it allows you to engage your natural patience and practicality. How wonderful is it to realize that those automatic conditioned responses do not have to dictate the way you live your life. Next time you're triggered, take a deep, conscious breath and use that moment to truly reflect before you respond. You'll be amazed at the difference that pause can make in the way you navigate the often turbulent moments of your life. Remember, that inherent stability that you possess, dear Taurus, is your greatest asset. Use it to guide your reactions. 2. The ego's shadow. Recognizing the root of emotional reactions. Let's now delve into something a little deeper, something that can be hard to admit, but is incredibly transformative to understand. Have you ever noticed that many of your emotional reactions tend to stem from a very particular place? Now, many of our emotional reactions are rooted in our ego, that part of us that seeks to protect our self-image and assert our importance. It's like that inner voice that wants to be right, that wants to be seen as worthy, and it's a voice that can easily react when it feels threatened. When someone criticizes us or challenges our beliefs, the ego can feel that attack very deeply. It can lead to defensive responses, to anger, to hurt, and a whole host of reactions that escalate situations. This is especially relevant for Taurus because that natural sense of steadfastness can sometimes make the ego feel more deeply attached to its perspectives. But what if we could understand the ego, not as something to be defeated, but as something to be understood? That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Well, in Buddhism, understanding the nature of the ego is vital for our emotional control. We learn that the ego is not our true self, it's just an illusion. It's a set of beliefs and constructs that we've created over time. When we can finally realize that, we can begin to detach from those feelings and respond with greater clarity, compassion, and a wonderful sense of equilibrium. Next time you're finding yourself feeling defensive or angry, take a step back and ask yourself, is this reaction coming from my ego? By identifying where the reactions originate, we can begin to observe them and respond from a place of awareness and not just out of fear or defensiveness. This is how you, dear Taurus, can truly embody your strength by responding with true authenticity and not from ego's fear. 3. The power of silence, when words fall short. Now, let's delve into a seemingly simple concept that holds incredible power: the power of silence. Now, I know in our fast-paced world, silence can often feel uncomfortable, like an absence of something. But the truth is, in many cases, the most powerful response is not to say anything at all. When emotions run high, our instinct might be to jump into a heated discussion or argument, to try to explain, to justify, or to make our voice heard. However, silence can hold incredible power and can be incredibly transformative. Silence is not passive. Rather, it allows time for reflection. It can diffuse tension. It can allow us the ability to see things from a calmer perspective. And for you, dear Taurus, that reflective pause can allow you to access your innate wisdom and grounded nature. Responding with silence gives us a wonderful opportunity to collect our thoughts, to let the dust settle, and to approach the conversation with a clearer mind. In Buddhism, silence is viewed as a form of mindfulness, an opportunity to cultivate inner peace rather than engage in conflict. By choosing silence, we can avoid saying things in the heat of the moment, things that we might later regret. So next time you are in a challenging conversation or you feel yourself pulled into an argument, pause for a moment and consider the strength of simply remaining silent. You may find that your response will not only come from a clearer place, but will also have a far more constructive and impactful result. It's about harnessing your natural steadiness, Taurus, to make the most impactful choice, even when that choice is to remain silent. 4. Emotional detachment. Observing without reacting. Have you ever felt completely swept away by your emotions, like a boat being tossed on a raging sea? Well, let's talk about the incredibly powerful practice of emotional detachment. Now, this does not mean that you have to ignore or suppress your emotions. This does not mean you should detach from the beauty and joy of life. Instead, it is all about learning how to observe your emotions without letting them control your actions. It is the understanding that emotions are not you. Rather, they are temporary experiences that are part of the human condition, but they are not who you are. For you, dear Taurus, who so often seeks comfort and security, detaching from an emotion can be challenging, but it can be incredibly empowering. Many times we get so caught up in our feelings, we react impulsively instead of responding thoughtfully. But practicing emotional detachment allows us to step back and view our feelings from a distance, understanding that they're not a permanent state and they do not define us as human beings. In Buddhism, this practice is crucial for maintaining inner peace and emotional balance. By detaching from our emotions, we can avoid being swept away by the waves of negativity, and instead, we can respond from a place of calm and clarity. Now, when you feel strong emotions rising, whether it's anger, sadness, or frustration, try to take a step back and ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to teach me? By reframing our emotions as experiences, we empower ourselves to choose how we respond, rather than being overwhelmed by them. Your natural strength, Taurus, allows you to observe and understand, and emotional detachment enhances your ability to do just that. 5. The art of non-personalization, not taking things to heart. This next point is absolutely fundamental to emotional control, and it's one of the most common sources of emotional suffering. It's the tendency to take things personally. Now, we've all experienced this, haven't we? When someone criticizes us or behaves negatively, it's easy to interpret their actions as a direct attack on our self-worth or our character. This can trigger strong emotional reactions like anger, hurt, or defensiveness. But what if I told you the actions of others are often a reflection of their own experience, their own struggles, their own insecurities, rather than an intentional affront to us? In Buddhism, we learn that the way others behave is largely influenced by their own internal world, their own thoughts, their own feelings, and the circumstances of their lives. For you, dear Taurus, this can be especially important because your desire for harmony can make you particularly sensitive to the words and actions of others. When someone lashes out or criticizes, it's usually a projection of their inner turmoil. By understanding this, you can begin to cultivate compassion for them, rather than taking their words so personally. This is a huge perspective shift that can change everything, you see? It allows you to respond with empathy rather than reacting with hurt or with anger. By not taking things personally, you create emotional distance from the situation, which helps you to maintain a wonderfully peaceful state of mind. Now remember, my friends, your self-worth is not dependent on others' opinions or actions. When you detach your value from external judgments, you empower yourself to remain steady and composed. regardless of the circumstances. Remember, your worth is inherent, Taurus, not something that can be diminished by the actions or words of others. Your grounded nature allows you to become an anchor amidst a sea of negativity. 6. The power of breath, your anchor in the storm. Now let us delve into something incredibly vital, but so often overlooked: the very act of breathing. It's something we often take for granted, isn't it? But the way we breathe is intricately connected to our emotional state, especially in times of stress or upheaval. When we are anxious or angry, our breath tends to become shallow and rapid. Conversely, when we are calm, our breathing is deep and steady. This connection between breath and emotion provides us with a powerful tool for emotional regulation. In Buddhism, mindful breathing is a cornerstone of many practices, including meditation and mindfulness exercises. This ancient wisdom teaches that by simply focusing on our breath, we can cultivate greater awareness and control over our thoughts and our emotions. This is especially vital for you, dear Taurus, because it connects you to your grounded nature, to the very core of your being. When we practice mindful breathing, we're not just calming our bodies, we are also training our minds to be present and attentive. This practice allows us to observe our emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them, and it creates a space where we can respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Now, when faced with a challenging situation, like unexpected criticism or stressful deadlines, our instinct may be to immediately react, often in a way that escalates the tension. But what if, instead, we paused and took a moment to breathe deeply? Well, this simple act can completely transform our response. Here's a simple and very effective technique. Close your eyes and inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4, allowing your abdomen to expand. Hold your breath for a moment, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6 or 8. This not only helps to calm your nervous system, but it also gives your mind a chance to settle, making it far easier to think clearly and respond calmly. You, my dear Taurus, are being called to access your inner wellspring of peace, and your breath is the key. Research supports the effectiveness of breathwork in managing stress and improving emotional well-being. Techniques like diaphragmatic breathing or box breathing have been shown to reduce cortisol levels, which is the hormone associated with stress, and promote relaxation. When we make these breathing exercises a regular part of our daily lives, we build a reservoir of calmness that we can tap into during challenging moments. And this, my dear friends, will not only improve our ability to handle stress, but will enhance our overall emotional resilience. It's like having your own personal tool at the ready whenever you need it. Incorporating breathwork into your daily routine can have profound effects on your mental and emotional health. Your body is a temple, Taurus, and mindful breathing is an offering of self-care and connection to the divine. Insert. You might practice during meditation, you might take deep breaths while enjoying nature, or even do simple breathing exercises while at your desk. As you become more attuned to your breath, you will likely find you can maintain a sense of calm more easily, even in stressful situations. Another valuable aspect of breathwork is its ability to ground us in the present moment. Often, when we're upset or anxious, our minds are racing with thoughts of the past or worries about the future. Mindful breathing helps to anchor us in the now, reminding us that we have the power to choose our responses. This grounding effect fosters clarity, enabling us to see situations far more objectively and respond with intention. This is the essence of stability, Taurus, being firmly planted in the present moment, ready to make conscious choices. Breathwork can also be a communal practice. Joining a group meditation or yoga class can enhance your experience and support your emotional journey. Sharing this practice with others fosters a sense of connection and community, which can be incredibly healing. Furthermore, as you deepen your breathwork practice, you will discover new insights about yourself, including patterns in your emotional responses and areas where you can grow. It's like a very powerful key that helps you unlock your deepest potential for self-awareness and inner harmony. Consider keeping a journal to document your experiences with mindful breathing. Write about how you felt before and after your exercises, noting any changes in your mood or perspective. This reflection can reinforce your commitment to the practice and help you to track your progress over time. Next time you find yourself facing intense emotions or a challenging situation, just remember the profound power of your breath. Take a moment to pause, breathe deeply, and reconnect with your inner calm. By doing so, you will create the opportunity to approach the moment with a clearer mind and a more centered heart. And over time, this practice of mindful breathing can significantly enhance your emotional control, your resilience, and overall sense of peace. Remember your inherent strength, Taurus. Use it to create space for your conscious breath. 7. Response, not reaction, the conscious choice. Let's now delve into the final lesson, and perhaps the most transformative. It's the distinction between reacting and responding. This concept is absolutely crucial in emotional intelligence and mindfulness. When we react, we do so impulsively, driven by emotions and automatic thought patterns. Reactions are often based on those immediate feelings like fear, anger, frustration, which lead to actions that we may later regret. It's that knee-jerk reaction that often causes more harm than good. On the other hand, responding involves a much more thoughtful, deliberate approach. It allows us to fully consider the situation before acting. For you, dear Taurus, your natural tendency towards measured action and patience will serve you well in embracing this practice. In Buddhist teachings, the emphasis on mindfulness plays a major role in helping us cultivate the ability to respond, rather than just blindly react. Mindfulness encourages us to step back and observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment. This practice enables us to create that much-needed gap between the stimulus and our response. And it's in that space that we can pause, reflect, and choose the most appropriate and constructive way to act. It's about using your strength, Taurus, to act with intention, rather than from impulse. The process of responding instead of reacting begins with awareness. Next time you feel a strong emotional reaction rising, such as frustration during a disagreement or fear during a stressful moment, just try to notice the feelings and thoughts without getting swept away by them. Acknowledge what you're feeling. This is a vital first step in taking control of the situation. You might say to yourself, "I feel angry right now," or "I am feeling anxious." This act of recognition helps ground you in the present moment. Now, once you acknowledge your feelings, take that deep breath to calm your nervous system. This pause is essential. It allows you to move from a reactive state to a responsive one. And with this breath, you can begin to formulate a response that reflects your true values and intentions, rather than a knee-jerk reaction. Ask yourself the questions: what do I truly want to achieve in the situation? Or, how can I express my feelings without escalating the conflict? This conscious reflection gives you an incredible opportunity to respond thoughtfully and constructively. Responding thoughtfully also means considering the impact of your words and actions on others. In our interactions, we often forget that our responses influence the emotional climate of the conversation. By choosing to respond with compassion and understanding, we can foster healthier, more productive interactions. And this is where your natural empathy and desire for harmony can truly shine. Dear Taurus, for example, if someone criticizes you, instead of reacting defensively, you might respond by asking for clarification or expressing your own feelings calmly. This approach not only diffuses tension, but it also paves the way for a far more meaningful dialogue. Additionally, it's essential to recognize that responding rather than reacting is a skill that takes practice. And just as we develop muscle memory through physical exercise, we can train our minds to respond thoughtfully through consistent practice. Engaging in regular mindfulness meditation can also enhance this skill because it helps you to become more aware of your thoughts and your emotions. Over time, as you cultivate this awareness, you will find it easier to pause and reflect before responding in those everyday situations. Now remember, responding thoughtfully doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or pretending that everything's okay. It's about being honest with yourself and others while maintaining emotional control. You can express your feelings assertively and openly without letting them dictate your actions. And as you practice this approach, you'll likely notice improvements in your relationships and your own emotional well-being. You see, by choosing to respond rather than react, you're not just taking control of your emotional responses, you're also paving the way for healthier, more compassionate interactions with those around you. Next time you find yourself in a situation where you feel triggered, remind yourself of the power of choosing to respond instead of react. This shift in mindset can lead to deeper connections, improved communication, and ultimately, a greater sense of inner peace. And by embracing this practice, you're taking a significant step towards mastering your emotions and living a much more mindful life. And for you, dear Taurus, that is the essence of your journey, to master your inner world and live a life of intentionality. So there you have it, my dear friends, 7 profound lessons inspired by the ancient wisdom of Buddhism that show you the power of not reacting. By applying these teachings, you can gain control over your emotions, lead a far more peaceful life, and connect far more deeply with the world around you. These lessons are not just concepts to understand, they're tools that you can use every day to cultivate a life of greater calm and purpose. Now, I know this might seem like a lot to take in all at once, and so my challenge for you is to pick just one of these lessons that resonates most with your soul and begin to apply it to your life. Start small, be patient with yourself, and know that progress, not perfection, is always the objective. And my dear Taurus, remember the past 13 years have been a journey of immense growth and preparation. The universe has not been punishing you, it has been molding you, refining you, readying you for a transformation that is coming. Remember that peace, that inner harmony, is always within you. It's simply waiting to be unveiled. So let us embark on this journey with a heart full of intention and a clear vision for the peace we wish to create. And remember that your innate strength and stability, Taurus, is meant to be a foundation for joy and expansive growth. The universe is always working in your favor, even when it seems challenging. And this wisdom is especially important for you as you move into the next chapter. If you found this message helpful and inspiring, don't forget to share it with others. Remember, we're in this journey together, and together we can all rise to a greater level of emotional mastery. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe and join our community so we can continue to bring you those very special, transformative teachings. And now, until our next journey together, stay mindful, stay peaceful, and always keep seeking that inner secret. The path to emotional mastery is a journey, and you have the strength, the wisdom, and the heart to traverse it with grace.